You never know where and how you'll find love. This couple knows that. Chantal Melanson was living in Alberta, Canada, when she was invited by one of her friends to the upcoming Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas. Her friend had an extra ticket and wanted to know if she wanted to join her. In a matter of a few weeks, Melanson and her friends had their Nevada vacation arranged. However, Chantal never imagined the terrifying turn of events the night of the festival, let alone that she would come face to face with a person who would change her life. The massive country music event took place on the 15 acres of Las Vegas Village and hosted the genre's most famous artists. The fourth edition of the festival in 2017 had a turnout of about 22,000 people, including Chantal and her group of friends. When they arrived at the festival, they quickly soaked up the festive atmosphere and were enjoying the good music and delicious food. On the second day of the event, while having drinks at a bar, a man named Austin Monfort approached Melanson for the first time. The man did not have much luck in conquering Chantal. In fact, the first thing she and several of her friends did was to make fun of the cowboy's strange attire. Despite having failed in his first attempt, the man did not give up and sought in many ways to get the girl's attention. Chantal noticed that the man kept his eye on her, and when their gazes met, he smiled awkwardly at her. He stayed like that all night until he finally decided to approach again, this time managing to strike up a conversation with Chantal, and to her surprise, she discovered that he was a sweet and intelligent man. It wasn't long before a real spark arose between the two of them. After exchanging numbers, Melanson said goodbye to the charming stranger with a feeling that she'd found her ideal man. She and Monfort arranged to meet the next day at the festival. She was happy with the thought that he might be her soulmate. After chatting and laughing for a while, they went to one of the stages where Monfort's friends were. They welcomed her warmly, and soon they were all enjoying themselves in the middle of the audience. Around 10 p.m., after hours of joking, dancing, and fun, Monfort, Melanson, and their new group of friends began to hear what sounded like fireworks, common at big music festivals and concerts. However, after a while and due to general commotion, they realized that the loud explosions were actually the product of a firearm. The mass of people began to dissolve, fleeing in all directions. Chantal's heart began to race as she lost sight of all her companions and did not know how to proceed next. However, a hand reached out and grabbed her by the forearm. She met Monfort's face, which did not leave her for a moment. Holding hands, they broke into a run in search of safety. "Austin always stayed with me," recounted Chantal. "We ran together looking for a place to take shelter." Monfort was very brave and knew it was his duty to protect the woman he felt could be the love of his life. Even though they had just met, Chantal became his #1 priority. When they reached a place away from all the mess and out of harm's way, they looked for a way to go to the house they were staying. They were relieved to find that everyone was there safe and sound. Monfort and Melanson spent that night together, comforting each other in each other's arms. It would definitely be an experience they would remember for the rest of their lives. The end of this trip was coming, and the new couple understood that they would soon have to say goodbye. Both had to return to their homes and duties in different countries. However, they were determined that this would not be the end of their love story. Melanson flew back to Albany in Canada, and Monfort returned to his home in California. Yet distance did not stand in the way of the feeling that had been born between them. Soon they made plans to meet again. Monfort promised to go to Canada and spend some time with her. It was only 6 weeks after returning from the festival that Monfort kept his promise and flew to Canada to visit his beloved. And after that, they never spent more than 6 weeks apart, Melanson said with a smile. Either he would come to Albany or I'd fly to California. They were aware that they were destined to spend the rest of their lives together, and soon made plans to live together. Either Monfort had to move to Canada or Chantal had to move to the United States. It was a very serious decision they had to make. They both knew they'd found their soulmate, and if they wanted to live together in the same country, they had to be mindful of the nation's immigration rules. They decided that Melanson would move with Monfort to California. It was not a very difficult decision in the end, because there was a place that became very special for the happy couple, Laguna Beach. A romantic place where they planned to spend their vacation together as a couple, and the same place where Monfort, after 18 months together, got down on one knee and proposed. All that remained was to worry about obtaining the necessary visa requirements that would allow Melanson to live legally in the US. They applied for the K-1 visa, which allowed the woman to enter the country as long as she married Monfort within 90 days, which was no problem. Plans to have a showy wedding with all their family members, however, had to wait. The coronavirus pandemic arrived and stopped their wishes. Nevertheless, on November 1st, 2020, they performed their wedding in front of a judge to obtain the visa, although the celebration party that they planned to have once the pandemic is over was left pending. Although finding a way to live in the same country and make a life together wasn't easy, Monfort and Melanson are truly grateful and happy for their situation. After all they went through, it is clear that they would do anything to be with each other. Today, they're still very much in love and happy, and are looking forward to the end of the pandemic to celebrate their union in style.